The project started right after COVID, and I had a bunch of notebooks kind of scattered throughout boxes in our apartment. And I started going through all of the notebooks and decided that I was going to go through them all. And a lot of it was just random ideas and conversation. Stuff that when I returned to it, I had no idea what it was that I was looking at. But I went through all those 20 or so notebooks. I took those notebooks and then I took one blank notebook and I started to filter in all of the ideas from those disparate notebooks. And as I was going, I just created arbitrary categories that things could be filtered into. And as I was doing it, I kind of started to see various themes recur and different kinds of characters started to come into focus. And so as I was doing that, these categories and possible storylines started to build throughout those notebooks. So after about 6 months, I finished going through everything I had written over the past 10 years. And I started to write scenes on note cards. So just things that could be actually filmed or put into a screenplay. And that process took another 8 or 9 months. And then I had about 300 or 400 note cards of scenes. So I thought, okay, I'll have 24 characters or 24 character groups, and then I'll give them each 18 beats potentially. So that's how I came up with this grid. It's 24 by 18, so kind of six movements, each movement divided into 3 beats. And then there's 24 characters, so I started to filter those kind of 300 or 400 note cards into this structure. And I made these kind of abbreviated versions of those note cards and started to put them in this timeline. And then after about 2 months of doing that, I realized that there was just way too much material for one film. So I did a lot of thinking about and saw that there's 3 little bubbles of clusters of characters. They're all interrelated, but I was able to isolate these 3 clusters. And then I reorganized this whole thing and I kind of came up with 3 movies. And so then I just, for simplicity's sake, called them Film A, Film B, and Film C. And so we started with the film that's the middle film, Film B. Abecedarian was really just me looking for words that started with A and finding that strange word on the first page of the dictionary and feeling like it had a compelling title and has some kind of allure about it. Film B's title is By the Time I See You in the Morning, and Film C's title is Cantor. Each of the films have a very different set of characters, and they each will have a different tone and style as well. Basically, I knew I had the resources more to make Film B first than I did to have Film A, and Film B has a much larger cast, but I also felt that that by having to find such a large cast, it might create kind of a support network. Also the interest in doing a triptych, not a trilogy, but a triptych where each of the films happens simultaneously. It kind of just came about naturally from creating this structure and this timeline, and really just meditating on this timeline and how to realize this. And then as I was thinking about it and thinking about interesting ways of exhibiting it, this idea of showing each film simultaneously felt really exciting to me as something that I hadn't quite seen done before. There have been some 3-channel exhibitions that are more on a shorter runtime in kind of fine art setting. which are really interesting. There's a really interesting Chinese artist named Yang Fudong who does multi-channel installations, and I had come across him a couple years ago and never seen his work in person, but seeing photographs of that work and kind of imagining what the experience of those films are is something that's really stuck with me over the years. In this 3-film triptych structure, one of the things I'm interested in trying to see and experience is how there's always multiple sides of one story, and how different people experience each other totally differently. I feel like this just the structure of seeing different perspectives on the same event or on the same person or on the same place could potentially kind of result in a sense of compassion and empathy for people. We don't know what people are going through, and I think once I came to this structure, I immediately thought that it would be an interesting challenge to try and conceive of the scripts to be lined up on their timelines, so that potentially you could watch all 3 in the same space at the same time.